PDN News Updates. Here is Bradley Bartonico from our PDN Newsroom. This is brought to you by our sponsor, KFC Guam.
Current and former leadership of the Department of Revenue and Taxation is being sued by a whistleblower who alleges that DRT conspired with a liquor importer over millions of dollars in unpaid alcohol taxes, and this lawsuit continues to move forward in federal court. A scheduling conference is set for May 28. Guam resident John Ryan in November 2019 filed a lawsuit under seal in the Superior Court of Guam, alleging wholesaler Titan Imports was evading paying alcohol taxes on products it brought into Guam, court records show. The suit was filed under the Local Whistleblower Act, which allows citizens to sue to enforce uncollected taxes. Ryan alleged that alcohol sold wholesale by Titan Imports were sold in stores at retail prices that were lower than the tax per bottle in some cases. He notified Reventax of his lawsuit, but in January 2020, the government of Guam agency declined to intervene in the suit, court documents show. In other news, no business offered their commercial space for a total of 6 months to serve as the venue for Guam's 2024 early voting. Now, the Guam Election Commission is weighing whether to reissue its invitation for bids or limit the use of a leased space to just a month each for the primaries and the general election without going through a bidding process. The April 5 deadline to respond to the invitation for bids came and went without a single bid received, GEC Executive Director Maria Pangilinan said. At this point, GEC has not made a decision whether to reissue the invitation for bid and hopes that businesses will have a change of heart and offer their commercial spaces. Guam can be a role model for solving the nagging affordable housing shortage, according to U.S. Department of Agriculture Administrator of Rural Housing Services Joaquin Altoro, whose recent visit to Guam provided an overview of available USDA housing grants and loans, including one with an interest rate for as low as 1% and for as long as 38 years. That is to me one of the best programs on the market for home ownership, Altoro said in an interview with the Pacific Daily News, on the sidelines of the outreach event held at the University of Guam to highlight USDA's housing, community facilities, and business programs. USDA may be a relatively unrecognized and untapped source that could provide much-needed help for Guam's affordable housing shortage. The outreach event at UAG provided an overview of loans and grants available for rural area residents, businesses, and cooperatives in Guam and the Western Pacific. In other news, Guam and other territories are exempt for now from new federal rules requiring overtime pay and raising the minimum salary for salaried or white-collar employees, an exemption for the island that Guam-based employer groups have asked the U.S. Department of Labor to consider. Across the nation, millions of salaried workers will qualify for expanded overtime protections under a final rule that the USDOL released on Tuesday. The new USDOL rule, which exempts Guam, the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands, raises the salary threshold under which salaried employees are eligible for overtime in 2 stages. Effective July 1, 2024, the threshold will increase to the equivalent of an annual salary of almost $44,000, or about $844 a week. For more on these stories, go to guampdn.com and follow us on social media.